Alrighty, MCG last night. Look, I've got to say, from a neutral supporter's point of view, I love this game last night.
It was fantastic. You just wonder what Fremantle's win's done for the rest of the competition, where suddenly the psychology, they can be beaten. There's ways they can be exposed, and there's a lot of similarities between the Fremantle win and the Sydney win, with the pressure of the Fremantle, the pressure of Sydney, and they kicked 4 goals to 1 in the last quarter. Some panic. We'll talk about the changes that have been made with no Stephen May shortly, but they found all the answers in the game, and I'm interested, Kane, in your thoughts on the ball movement of Sydney and how they opened up Melbourne as well.
Yeah, they weren't as keen to go down the line, and when they did go down the line, they neutralised the numbers. Here's the final siren. You can see what it means to them. John Longmire out on the ground, embracing the group. These are the wins you just must celebrate during the year, and you've got to enjoy it. The McCartan brothers, they were awesome, I've got to say, the way that they defended. And Brownie, there was a big forward who turned back the clock last night.
Well, Sam Reid, every now and again has a game like this, but I thought this was career best. 10 tackles from Sam Reid, and he was on from the first minute. He continued to take marks, and then when he went into the ruck a couple of times, he was really good against Max Gawn. Kicked 3 goals, 10 tackles for a player playing predominantly in the forward half of the ground. His energy was good. He kicked the goals when they needed them. This was Sam Reid's career-defining game. This was the best of his career, and one of the main reasons why, in the end, they got the chocolates.
Yeah, it was sort of infectious through the group, wasn't it? The way that they out-tackled Melbourne last night. That was the thing that stood out to me. How many times did Melbourne actually have first possession of the ball and then cough it up as a result of Sydney's pressure? So we'll show some examples of this. Oliver, he doesn't fumble, but Sydney's pressure forces him to fumble. That's a 50-50 ball in the middle of the ground. Who wins it? They outnumbered at the contest. Nothing pretty about this. This is finals-like footy. Saturday night at the MCG. Tough in the contest. Melbourne have got it there. Do they have it? No, they don't have it. Warner's going to stream away through here. Gawn's got it. He coughs it up. So their pressure was plus 21 tackles last night, and this effort here is as good as I've seen this year. McCartan up against Pickett there. He had no right to force the turnover there. He did that, and that was synonymous with their performance last night. Incredible pressure from the Swans, Lauder.
I think Melbourne can afford to lose a midfielder. So if they lost an Oliver or a Petrarca, I think they could get by with the depth they've got through there. But I think Gawn and Stephen May, lose one of them, they come back to the field. It's amazing how quickly things can change. And losing Stephen May has turned that. Last week, May goes off the ground. Look at that. Jackson pushed under the ball by Lobb. May would often be there spoiling that one through. And then with no May again, Jaden Hunt's been caught on the last line of defence a lot. He gives away a free kick. So that's last week. Fast forward, that's Tomlinson now that gets caught in this position. Wouldn't normally be there. So we saw what happened to Hunt last week. We pause. Hunt's in this position on Papley. Usually Stephen May would be behind, being like the quarterback or the wicket keeper. Papley kicks the goal. Often May would be there. Then you go to the next one. Who's on the last line of defence? Jaden Hunt panicking on Isaac Heaney, who takes a mark. So I think the competition's gone to school on how they can expose other defenders. May will be back, but I think the confidence that the rest of the teams have been given in the last 2 weeks has brought Melbourne back to the field well and truly.
So they've got a bit of a break now, Melbourne, haven't they, before Queen's birthday? So it's an extended break. What do they do in that period? I mean, you're not going to hit the panic button on the back of 2 losses mid-season. So what do you do?
I think you have to keep adapting. What may have worked for you for a year and 10 weeks, everyone's watching you. Everyone's going to school on you. And I think that's where the pressure, are they still applying the pressure that they need to? That's where Richmond, where you give them credit, they did it for 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah. So not many teams go back-to-back because they can't sustain the effort. And that's where Melbourne's challenge is now in the back half of the season.
It's not all doom and gloom, I would have thought. So they were 30 points up against Fremantle in round 11. They were 26 points up against Melbourne, against the Swans last night. Simon Goodwin, though, does have concerns with what he's seen in the past fortnight. And on the other side of the fence, John Longmire could not have been more proud.
We're certainly not panicking by any stretch of the imagination, but we've got to continue our purpose. We've got to continue to find ways to get better. We've got to continue to forge ahead in our season. But as I said, that's what AFL seasons are about. They're a marathon for a reason.
Oh, it was a beauty. Admire the players, their ability to be able to back themselves in and keep going and keep persisting, and they've done it a few times.